In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make custom lighting for the foreground in your green screen. This is not the lighting that goes on directly on the green screen. This is the lighting that goes on the object you're trying to illuminate that's going to be in front of your green screen. First thing you want is one of these kinds of lamps, one with these totally adjustable arms on them. If you go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, if you're lucky, if you go there enough, you can get these for, I think I paid $10 for this. Now the arms are exceptionally important because what you're going to do is you're going to aim the light at whatever it is you want to illuminate in whatever direction you want to illuminate it. That's why these are useful. However, these lids or cups or bowls, whatever you want to call them, these are transparent. Basically, they're like any other lamp. They send light everywhere. You want the light to just go where you want it. Now there's two methods you can use to basically make these from omnidirectional and to convert them to unidirectional, just going in one direction. This is called foil tape. It's basically aluminum foil with a paper roll in the back, and it has the same shape and a similar adhesive to duct tape. This is really good for, well, its official use is for plumbing and other things like that, but aesthetically, if you keep it smooth, you can make these, you can make wood like metal. There's a lot of different uses for this. This is very useful, and this is what I'll be using directly. This is just regular old aluminum foil. Now, depending on what you want to do, depending on what you have access to, the price is going to be about the same, because to make this work on this, you need a good spray adhesive. Now I'm going to be explaining how to do both of these, basically the exact same process. I would recommend, if you're going to use this stuff, do it outside. You don't want this stuff inside your house or even in your workspace, because it'll destroy, it'll just make everything really gross. Do it outside, save yourself an hour of cleanup. Now I've got my temporary workspace here all set up. Now this is something I do recommend. Get a cheap piece of crap desk that you don't mind if you destroy. I go through about one of these every couple of months. I like to name my tools. These are called the expendables. I have my cup here. Let's just call this a cup. I'm sure there's a better name for that, but at the moment, it's a cup. Take it, obviously disconnect it, and you want to keep your the light and the fixture in something that's not going to roll out and break. It's the basic, whatever. So, first I'm going to show you the method for the foil tape, and then I'm going to demonstrate for you the regular aluminum foil. Take this, and you want to be very careful not to crinkle it. Once it crinkles, it's pretty much a dead thing. Take your whatever measuring implement you desire. It's going to be 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to add an extra inch to my measurement because of the curve, and then I'm going to show you how to cut this. Take your bowl and realize, yes, it's different distances, and you want to keep that in mind, obviously. Get a pair of scissors that have seen better days. There's no point in having heavy-duty scissors for this, and there's really no point in getting, because you're basically going to ruin it if you keep doing this. Now you have a strip of tape with the back covered to protect the adhesive. Now what I want you to do is take, with the foil tape, I want you to cut little indentations like that, because you're compensating for the curve and the overlap. Now if you have the foil, pull it out until you have a smooth surface, and then cut this shape out of it onto here. When you're spraying the adhesive, cut the aluminum foil into this shape and then spray it. Do not spray the inside of the cup, because you won't get a second chance that way. And always start in the bottom, because this is going to be down here, and if you screw this end up, it's not going to show up in your lighting when you're done. Now when using foil tape, you don't want to just pull this protective barrier off and then apply it, because you'll crinkle it, you'll rip it, horrible things will happen. What you want to do is you want to get it ready so that you can just kind of half detach it, and then put it at the base here. And you want to clean this out before you do it. Basically, just a rag will do it, because it's basically just dust that usually collects in here. So then we're going to ever so gently apply it to the bottom. Go from side to side. You want to keep it as smooth as you possibly can. Tiny crinkles in this application is not devastating because you usually film it at a distance of more than 3 feet, so you can basically get away with it that. Gently, ever so gently, pull it off. Again, side to side motions. And then tear. Now you've got a totally non-transparent barrier that will be reflective and guide the light for where you want it. Now you have to apply this all the way around and then repeat with all the other cups. I recommend using a Sharpie to smooth out the inside here. Basically, it's also good for overlap. You gotta be gentle, obviously, but it's a good way to keep it smooth as possible and prevent it from getting any crap from your hands onto the disc. So I've officially got one done. Now you notice the two difference here by doing it side by side. This obviously has the foil in it. This has the foil not in it yet. Now you'll notice the direction, if you notice my hand, how basically the light is only going directly where I want. Also, it's basically the same concept as a flashlight. Take this away for a second. How much light goes on my hand directly, okay? As opposed to, it's not another directional, it's also a little bit spotty and wavy, which is no good. I'd also recommend when you do this, only do one at a time, because when these are out of the socket, there's likely you could drop one and break one. But if you break one, you've only broken one. If you do all of them at once and you just like you drop your container, you're really in trouble. And there you go. Got all 5, got them all set. Realistically, I spent a little over an hour doing it right. If you're going to do it right, because if you don't, you'll just screw up your lighting and you'll waste money and materials. The tape is, it's not pristine, but it's definitely smooth enough for the job. And what happens is, the nice thing about this, again, why go for the arms, is if I have a subject in the shot, I can totally adjust exactly where I want the light to go without it affecting the green screen itself. This is a $13 custom light system. As you can see from the lights, basically I'm, at this point, about here, I'm pretty well out of the line of fire. Let's say this, my shirt represents the green screen when it's up. Any light that I have on the green screen itself will be probably more or less drowned out by the actual lights that are designed for the green screen. So let's say I have this represents the green screen itself. That's why I have this lovely green shirt on. And this is my foreground. Obviously I'm doing a side. You can see the nice contours of my face. Got a nice little bit of mood lighting thing going. And plus it's obvious it's much more dramatic. The directionality of the light allows for more mood lighting. Say you wanted to shoot a person in a sunset. You have much more dramatic lines, and it's all totally under your control. I can make it a little higher, make it a little lower. I can do whatever I want with it, and it's totally directional.